Because you are. Whatever. Nerd, 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 nerd.
Welcome back. Hey, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Not a Nerd Pod with Lou, myself. We have Rob here. And Derek, who couldn't be with us today, Captain Charisma. So, guys, there's a lot to discuss, a lot to go. But before that, how are you guys? And also, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, guys. Love you. We're welcoming you. Hit us in the comments, and we are gonna get started. So, how are you guys? How you be?
I'm amazing.
You gotta ask Spider-Man.
Obviously,
I like what you did there. I like what you did. Amazing. I like what you did there. I like that.
Amazing. Spectacular.
Spectacular. Hey, I was just about to say that. Spectacular.
I'm doing good, you know. Trying to save the city, taking a break, you know.
Uncanny.
For real,
Ultimately.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Like I said, I love it. I love it. Yeah. What about you, Lou?
I mean, not as spectacular as Rob, but
obviously, I don't think any of us is doing as spectacular as him.
But I'm here.
We all here. I'm cool too. That's kind of how I be. I'm cool. We went to Legoland yesterday with Suicide Mission. All the kids, god kids, nephews, my daughter. So Legoland it was, and it was actually pretty smooth. Everything was pretty good. And outside of that, other fashion shows, fashion assignments. So that's it. That was my weekend, and will be my weekend because I have some to go to after here. So I'm good.
Nice.
Good. And work that's overdue, but you know.
Work. I just want to hit the lotto, man. Just one.
Man, seriously, just once.
The city doesn't pay me to fight all these villains, bro.
I mean, you could just be robbing banks, Spider-Man.
That wouldn't be the hero that I am.
I mean, anti-hero.
Choices, you know?
With great responsibility. I feel you, bro. I feel you.
Yeah. I don't need Captain America on my back. Yeah, that's it.
Sometimes I wish we didn't have all this moral fiber. Isn't that what they call it? Good old moral fiber. You know, right?
Too many Uncle Bens out here, you know, leading us down the right path. That's it. See, Uncle Ben told me not to get the PS5 Pro, though.
Yes, let's get into these topics. I cannot. What's going down with this PS5 Pro? Is it really all it's cracking up to be as far as what the talks are going on? Is it worth the buy? Are we passing this?
$700, man. $700.
I will not be.
And then if you add on everything else, if you add on everything else, an $80 disk drive, and then a $30 stand. Like, it doesn't even come with a stand. And all right, it comes with a controller, but I mean, for $700, you might as well just give me the Pro controller at this point.
Or
what are we doing here?
Stock PC, stock gaming PC.
Right, yeah, a stock gaming PC will run you $600 to $800, and you could customize it. So
literally,
yeah, I don't know, man.
The
craziest part is I'm probably gonna get it.
I was just gonna say,
I'm gonna wait though. I'm gonna wait.
You getting it? I don't even know why you acting all this.
I mean, I'm not gonna get it right out the gate. $700 is that's too
ridiculous.
Much. Yeah, I'm gonna wait and I'll wait till like tax season.
I remember when they
and Klarna
when they used
good old Afterpay.
These console rollouts they used to do with the bundles, and even still, it wasn't $700 when they did these rollouts. Especially during the holiday season, it was perfect. It came with not only the controllers, it came with games to start you off. It came with all the gadgets. Now they're just rolling out here. That's it. Oh, but it doesn't include this. It doesn't include that. You got to buy this. You got to add on that. I'm over it.
Same.
I mean, for $700, it better
at this point.
it it better play every single game, PC included, for $700.
All of them.
All of them, every single game. I want backwards. I want games that wasn't even thought of on the original PlayStation to play on the PS5 Pro.
That's what I'm saying.
Bro.
$700. Why do we sound like our parents though? $700.
They're on to something.
I mean, but think about it. Think about it back then though. Like $300 for a system back then was a lot of money.
It was.
$700 for a system is a lot of money. And you're not even able to do things like I wouldn't mind a PC. PC, I'll spend $700, $800. I'll spend $1,500 on a PC. PC, you could do so much with. You can customize it. You can add new parts when they become obsolete. You can, upgrade your SSD, and you can upgrade the graphics, and there's so much things you could do with a PC. Not to mention, with the PC, you can do everything outside of gaming. You can create games. You can create, do graphic design. You can surf the web. There's so much things you can do with a PC. What can I do with a PlayStation 5 Pro other than play video games?
That's what I want.
Collect dust. Collect dust when I don't feel like playing it. Like,
this is what I want. Like, I need to be able to do more than play games to roll out $700. And then
it doesn't even come with a disc drive.
This is what I'm saying.
And forcing everybody to at least go digital, or if you want the disc, you got to buy the whole thing separately, which is, again, crazy to me.
But you know what? You're onto something there, Rob, because that's really what people, they just thinking they're buying another game system, but that's really what it is. They're trying to force all of us to go digital and to do things a certain way. And there's so much resistance behind it that I personally think that they used this as a means to kind of rule, kind of regulate us, get us all in, because who's not going to want the latest game system? Who's not going to, want to be up to date in gaming? Even if you're not a gamer, I know people who rarely play games and they're going to get this system.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
they're going to get the system.
I mean, I think it works out for the people that still hasn't pulled the trigger to get a PS5. But I think the bigger question right now is, what's the incentive to get a PS5, a PS5 Pro, a Xbox Series S or X? What's the incentive? Because where we are with games haven't even stopped coming out for last gen consoles. PS4 games are still coming out. Xbox One games are still coming out.
Okay.
Switch games are still coming out. What's the incentive for me to go and get a PS5 Pro when I can stay with my PS5 and the same games that are going to be on Pro is going to be a better performance? Y'all haven't even optimized games for PS5 flat.
Even now for regular.
So do you think they have
no incentive?
Going to do it with this one?
No, I think that if Sony was smart, they would have rolled out PS5 Pro with a game that everybody has been asking for, either a remake or a upscaling of, and that's Bloodborne. If they would have came out and said PS5 Pro, and we're dropping a remastered Bloodborne, and it's exclusive to it's flying off the shelf. PS5 Pros are flying off the shelf.
It would be sold out before its official release date. Yeah,
facts.
For sure. For sure.
And the craziest thing is, I think it's still going to be sold out because it's going to be in limited supply.
True. This is why, and like I said, the crazy part is that because of how everything's going, and AI, everyone, them wanting everything to be digital, like even people that are not real gamers are gonna get this system. So they're for sure gonna sell out. But
yeah, I mean, it's Sony. They could do at this point whatever they want, and people are just gonna indulge just because it's Sony. It's no different from Apple.
Yeah, I was just going to say that a game version of Apple, the iPhone 16 Pro just dropped. I'm not getting it because I'm still on my 15. But, and everybody rushing to buy it. Don't even know how I used to work for Apple, so I could tell you the backdrops of how they do this. But they don't even know. People, I know people that don't even know what it does, and they simply said, you know what, I'm going to get in the iPhone 16. I'm like, okay,
sure.
same thing with this. It's the same thing.
My question is, as a consumer, why are we accepting this? As a consumer, it's like we have the power
to stop it. Yeah.
We have the power to stop this. And instead of using our wallet to talk for us, we are giving into these companies and saying, oh, yeah, we really, really like this, because ultimately that's what you're doing. When something sells out, you're telling a company this was a good decision for them. When right now, the reality is this isn't a good decision. It's not a good decision for Xbox to go ahead and drop their mid-gen refresh. This is a bad decision for Sony because there is no games out. Yeah. Every game that PS5 is dropping right now is still being released on the PS4, which tells me that these games are not taking full advantage of the hardware that PS5 already has. Now you're introducing a mid-gen refresh with more internals, but what does that say about the games that are already out or the games that are going to come out?
Yeah. I'll tell you why we're accepting it for 3 reasons. Fear that if we don't, that technology is going to surpass us and we won't be able to survive. 2, societal norms. Who wants to go against the societal norms, and again, be shuffled out along the way. And 3, technology and becoming digital and AI and the way that the world is leading, people think if they don't have X, Y, and Z, they're not going to be able to survive. They're not going to be able to, do certain things,
I agree. 100%. Definitely a good point too.
Mm-hmm. Unfortunate.
So, first of all, what are you eating over there?
Well, my wife made me some breakfast. Brunch.
Shout out to the wife. Being on domesticated.
Word. Need to stay ass in the kitchen.
Uncle Ben will not approve.
I mean, I'm the one that does all the cooking. The least she could do is make me 1 meal a week. The very least she could do.
Here he go again.
I'm just saying. The least she could do. The least.
You know what? She bore your children. You're never going to win this debate. So we shouldn't do it.
Without me, there would be no children.
Without her, they would have never been able to bake properly and actually come into the world.
But you say that like it's a bad thing.
I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm saying that
you're saying that I could do the making without the baby process.
I'm saying that she put her life on the line to bear more life for you.
Yes, she did. Mm-hmm. For sure.
Mic drop. Did I mic drop, Rob?
I mean, I'm just not gonna argue it because I still got to sleep in my bed tonight.
So. Smart man. Smart man.
And she's the one that helps me edit these episodes. So
yeah.
So I'm gonna shut up. I'm gonna shut up. It was a Friday, I'm gonna shut up. When she leave, I'm gonna talk about shit. But I'm shut up. Shut up.
That's smart. Oh my goodness, guys. So what are your thoughts on Venom 3? I have a lot of them. So
I have a lot too. You see my OG in the film? The big dog, no? OG, my OG himself,
So I mean,
the reason why Marvel couldn't use them for
literally
for Thor.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm cool with that. You know what's crazy? Venom has been. What you said?
I feel like they can tie it over.
I think they are, only because they left the Venom at the end of Spider-Man, so I think they are gonna tie it over. Mm-hmm. But I think it's dope that Venom and the animated Spider-Man with Miles, it's the best Sony products. Everything else that they put out, Morbius, the Craven does not look good. All these other Spider-Man, the Web of whatever,
Madam Web.
All these movies have not been good. Their spin-off properties have been atrocious, but Venom and the animated Spider-Man has been, it's been a sweet spot. Right. So I think that this send-off for Venom is going to work in the favor of the MCU, because I think what they're going to do with this movie is probably going to set up the next Spider-Man.
Well, my thing is because it's supposed to be Eddie's last Venom, so I think they're going to transfer over the Venom to Flash Thompson in the MCU. Remember, Flash also becomes a Venom right after Eddie Brock.
And I'm not mad at that, because Agent Venom, that run right now with Flash Thompson is fire.
It's amazing.
So fire. I'm not mad at that. Matter of fact, Agent Venom, they have a run where he goes through the symbiote home world. He's literally fighting Null. So yeah, I'm mad at that. I'm with it.
My thing is, I really hope Sony really does know perfectly, really get into the origins of how he, well, technically, how the Celestials came to his place and start throwing planets around. Because like a lot of people, the floating head in Guardians of the Galaxy was because of Null. Null is the one that one-sided him. Took that head clean off.
My question is, will Marvel allow it to happen? Because Marvel has the rights. So that's a good question too.
Yeah, this is Marvel.
That's where it gets. Yeah, it's like a money thing.
But I think that Marvel and Sony they're playing smart right now, and rightfully so, because Spider-Man is one of, if not the biggest Marvel property ever. Anything you put Spider-Man in, anything you put Spider-Man in is going to sell. Video games, merchandise, comics, it is the biggest. It's the biggest property. So I think that if Marvel is smart, Disney is going to incorporate anything that Sony wants on their side, so that way Marvel can do anything that they want on our side. Because right now they're in talks. Well, Ryan Reynolds is in talks with Feige and Sony to bring Deadpool and Spider-Man.
I mean, we need that.
I mean, the Fans definitely want that. I'm definitely here for that for sure. I'm hoping, and it seems like this is what's going on. Like you said, they're going to introduce they should introduce the new Spider-Man who's set to play him. But I also feel like this is Eddie Brock's last dance as Venom, but then I think they should put it over to who was it? Dylan, the in Earth.
His son?
Yes, who should be the new Denim, because he had a Venom. I said Denim, Venom, because he had to kind of like tether whatever to save his life, yada yada yada. So I think that's the trajectory of it. I think that would be dope, and I think it would make buku money, obviously. And so I'm excited to see if that's where it's gonna go. And I'm excited to see a good action movie, full of all the mythicalness of it all. So I'm excited. I have way more Venom and Spider-Man shirts than I would like to admit. So they're all ready.
You got a crush on Venom?
Let's just say I have when we talk about money, I've spent so much money on Venom.
Jeez.
She's flustered.
Jeez.
That just turned red. That's crazy. No. No, I don't know what it is. I do know what it is. Maybe I need to talk
you like them bad. You like them bad, Mary.
You like them bad.
I feel you.
Oh.
You like them bad.
No.
Any bad boy that come on that screen, you just, oh my God.
No.
Still can't get over the whole Thanos thing, bro.
Well, no, she can't.
Any man that
She can't.
protects and provides is like,
He
oh,
snaps his fingers, she comes.
what? No,
Boom.
no, guys, do not listen to these. Do not listen to them. Don't listen to them. Oh, I just be like,
Hey, look, she's hot over there.
She need a fan. You need a fan or so. Woo.
anyway,
When does this movie come out? When does this movie come
in
out?
October.
Ooh.
It's, October 25th, I believe it is. I think that is the release date, and it is perfect because it's during spooky month, and you know that's like a perfect Halloween thing. And I'm excited. There's actually you have this on October 25th. There's another rollout for another movie on October 18th. I think this is perfect. I think this movie is going to be. I know that this movie better be amazing. But based on the
Speaking of the
trailer,
movies, because you wanted to get into all the movies.
yes, I
out.
did.
You got a list? I hope you
Yes,
got a list for us.
you. Okay, so Beetlejuice officially, unofficially kicked off the start of what I call the spooky season, what most of us call spooky season. So I feel like now I can watch all my spooky movies.
Has
early.
anybody seen it yet?
I'm going to see it this week. I'm going this week.
I have to see it. My wife is a huge Tim Burton fan.
Yes.
So I got.
I'm
forced to go watch it.
You're gonna love it. I think you're gonna love it.
I mean, the first one was cool. I'm just not into like. I like the when Tim Burton does the animated stuff for me. That's what I think is fire, because there's a whole bunch of ideas, and you can flesh out ideas better animation wise than you can live action. So, Nightmare Before Christmas, Corpse's Bride.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I think that those ideas are better animated. But I'm cool. I don't mind. Is he directing this one, or he just wrote it and somebody else is directing it?
This Beetlejuice, no, it was. Let me go back because I actually was looking up on that. He wrote. Actually, he had a collaborative of writers, but the original people, cast and people that was on Beetlejuice, the first one, actually all returned for this one, including the original cast. The only new addition to this cast for the new Beetlejuice is actually Jenna Ortega, who also played Wednesday. Yeah. So she was the new addition to the movie, but actually everyone else, they revived their characters. Some of the same writers came on.
Except the dad, right?
Yeah.
The husband from the original.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I was actually kind of shocked that they were able to get this, to get everyone in back. And this is actually one of the longest playing character. Because what's his name, Reeves, he came back for this character after 36 years, guys. 36 years. And
so they only made this movie to beat out Wesley Snipes?
That's what I was thinking.
Always trying to one up the black man. Crazy.
Yeah, that would, not saying that that's the actual narrative, but if you think about it, that would beat him. That would beat Wesley Snipes' record, because he was the longest standing person to play a character in history at this point. It was Wesley Snipes with Blade, but now a white man. It is Beetlejuice.
So Michael Keaton.
He officially wins 36 years.
I mean, Michael Keaton's such a good actor, though.
He's
a really good actor.
His range is phenomenal. Yeah. So
one of my favorite movies with him was Birdman. Y'all ever seen that?
Wow.
Really good movie.
Yeah. I'm taking it back. I'm trying to think of, like, was there ever a movie that, he did that flop that I can't think of one. His career is it has range, is amazing. So I'm glad if it had to be anybody that it was him. Wesley Snipes. But I mean, it's still pretty cool that him along with Wesley Snipes, they are the two that hold that title. So that's pretty dope. It's pretty dope. So their rollout. So besides Beetlejuice, next up we have Megalopolis, or y'all know what I mean. It's coming
Say that one more time.
No.
One more
Nope. Not going to do it. It's coming out September 27th. I am actually very excited for this.
Who's in
I
it?
love the fact
What's it
that
about?
is so it's basically another, I don't want to say it's basically a Batman take, but it is basically a Batman take. You have Francis Ford Coppola. I can't pronounce these names.
So it's basically a rich guy with daddy issues who takes crime on his own.
Not exactly, but close enough. But it has mixed reviews. So as of the 14th, they were saying, some people are saying that it is the worst big budget movie ever made. However,
That's saying a lot.
it's set to do so well at the box office. So I'm a little torn, but I'm excited for it. I mean, the images and everything they've been showing so far, the trailer, it looks amazing. It has a lot of buzz. That was the only, I would say, the only bad review that has given me pause is the fact that they're saying it's one of the worst budget movies. But I mean, I think it's still
over
Shia LaBeouf is in it. Adam Driver.
Yes.
There's a lot of actors in this one. Giancarlo Esposito, John Voight, Dustin Hoffman.
Yeah. It's a lot of people in it.
Lawrence Fishburne, Jason Schwartzman. Yes.
It's 120 million to make, and it is set to surpass that by a lot. So I don't know. It is deemed a sci-fi fantasy movie. So is Venom, actually. And I'm here for it. So it's basically them bringing it's a fable. So it's a mythical Rome fable for all our folklore folks. And they're bringing it, and what they did is they took the fable and kind of modernized it for New York City. That's why I said it's kind of like a Batman thing, because it's not Gotham, but it's, this fable. So it's Megalopolis, whatever. So they're taking the fable and how this Rome fable came to be, and they're turning New York City into this Rome fable. And so in this fable, the character Caesar, he wants to keep things the way that it is, but the other guy actually wants to build this kind of like this utopic, space in New York City. So, and of course there's war, there's everything else that you would think is in a Batman movie, the crime, the allure, the billionaire, the woman, it's all in there. Except their plot is based on a Rome fable. So
this kind of looks like from this trailer, it looks like a more spectacle action Great Gatsby.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna be
I don't like how they got Shia LaBeouf in the dress, though. I don't like that. Doing my man dirty.
It seems to be the thing that gets everyone talking in all these movies, right? A man in the dress. Yeah. But that's another conversation. A whole nother conversation. So some of the other movies that are coming out that I was excited about, besides that one, and this is why I was wondering, is September 2024 the layout to, or the setup, I should say, for the next 4 years? Is this the best that's going to be in TV and film history at this moment. I mean, we have The Legend of the White Dragon coming out. We have Aladdin 2 coming out, the live action one, the Aladdin 2 coming out. We have even Electric State, that's another robot movie. We have Ghost of Tsushima coming out. We have Metal Gear Solid. We have Gears of War. They're making Gears of War into a movie. And that project is headed by Netflix. It has a lot of buzz. It is said to be really, really good. So I'm hoping okay, so I don't know if anyone actually, I mean, I do know people, but I don't know if anyone of us is actually really big on this. So Berserker, does anybody remember that comic? So so the movie's coming out. He is set to play
Berserk or Berserker, because there's a difference.
So it's called Berserker.
Okay.
Yeah. And Keanu Reeves is set to play him in this film. Netflix is also heading this project for this. So I'm very curious about that. I'm also curious because Keanu Reeves is finally, returning as Constantine. I mean, this is like 20 years of everyone wanting another Constantine. So, I mean, he played John Wick for 80,000 years. And so I'm just curious how, I'm very curious with this film.
Keanu's had a pretty good run as of late.
A great run.
He got Shadow. He turned down a DC role, turned down a Marvel role, and took on Shadow. He got the John Wick franchise, came back for the Matrix, and he's working on Constantine too, and then he got this movie coming up, so he got a good run going on.
He has a great
run. He's a good actor.
He is, and then that's not even including all his rom-com movies, where we all fell in love with him. Well, the ladies, we all fell in love with him. So he has a bunch of rom-com movies under his belt. He has a bunch of historic films under his belt as well. So I mean, like you said, he's had a great run. He also has like some of the teen pop movies under his belt from the 90s. He's had an amazing, amazing career. While I'm glad he's still doing it, I'm actually kind of shocked that he's even still taking on projects like this. I mean, this Berserker comic, he's a warrior. So he's going to be doing, Keanu Reeves, he does most of his own stunts in all his movies. So this is going to be another action-packed type movie, for the comic nerds.
Yeah.
I still want him to play Ghost Rider.
Johnny Blaze?
Yes, sir.
Or Danny Ketch?
Nope. Johnny Blaze.
Johnny Blaze.
That would be amazing. So we have some other movies. We got Attack on Titan coming. Lilo and Stitch. The live action version is coming.
Demon Slayer.
Sleeping Dogs. Mortal Kombat 2. I don't know why this is coming, but it is coming at the end of this year.
Why don't you know why?
I don't like it. I can tell you why.
I mean, despite nobody liking the actual storyline, it still grossed so much at the box office that it's a no-brainer why they was getting
it. It's because of Scorpion and Sub-Zero.
Yeah, facts.
Those two are like the cash cows of the Mortal Kombat franchise.
Yep.
Put those two in the front, they're gonna sell.
But people went.
I just don't understand how they didn't run the movie off of Scorpion. Because the dude that played Scorpion is a phenomenal actor.
That's true.
So why not just make a movie solely off of him?
That would be smart. But they ain't gonna do it.
And I would do Hito Japan Scorpion, not
before so you could actually watch the clans at war and stuff like that.
Yup. Mm-hmm. I would do Hito Japan Scorpion.
Let's see what y'all mentioning. They didn't do, and they ain't set to do it in this one. So
I mean, they added their own character and they're running with them.
That man has literally plot armor. That's his literal power.
Literally
plot armor.
Literally, yep.
There's no way a scrub MMA fighter is gonna beat a two-time world champion Goro, who has 4 arms and he's so much dramatically stronger than him. Is crazy. There's no way, bro.
I think that it's gonna do great at the box office like the other one did.
It probably will.
Yeah,
it probably will because it's gonna get the push. You're still gonna have Scorpion and Sub-Zero in there. Matter of fact, I think the Sub-Zero that they have in is Sub-Zero's brother.
Yeah, it's gonna be the younger brother this time because Bihan died.
Yep. So I think it's still gonna sell because you're still gonna have that side plot of Scorpion, which I still don't understand how this dude ties to Scorpion and the clan and. Yeah, but I mean, right? Like I said, if you want to watch a good Mortal Kombat movie, watch Scorpion's Revenge. Watch that anime. It is top notch.
One of the best.
See, this is what
which is a Warner Bros. Animation, and Warner Bros. Animation always kills it. So watch Scorpion's Revenge.
See, folks, watch Scorpion's Revenge. I don't know about this. You know what? Support it. I don't know.
If you have HBO Max, it's on there. I suggest you watch it, Mary. I'm telling you right now, is probably one of the best animation fighting movies out there. Like it is that good. It is really, really good. The storyline is dope. The Scorpion is just badass. Bihan is badass. Sang Sung, badass. Like it's good. It's a good movie.
To be honest, probably that'll probably be my movie I watch after this. We also have the Division, the Return to Silent Hill, and what I'm super excited about, a Minecraft movie that is going to be released April 4th of next year. I'm excited about that.
Whack.
I think it's so cool. I think it's going to be the
It's gonna be whack.
Aww.
You know what's
the main actor, Jack Black?
No. I think it's
gonna be Jack Black, right?
It's Aquaman. What's his name?
Jason Momoa.
Jason Momoa.
Yeah, both of them.
Jack Black is in it. But I don't think he's the main one. I think I believe it's just. Matter of fact, there was a report that had released that Valkyrie, the streamer, she said Jason Momoa was still in character and being an ass on set. But she only had like one interaction with them. She's only in the she has a cameo in it. She has like one interaction with them. So Twitter was in flames. Like, you was there for 5 minutes. He probably was having a bad morning. He probably didn't have his coffee. Like, they was going crazy on Valkyrie. She should have never said nothing. Because I mean, at the end of the day, like, actors have their bad days too, and especially if they feel like nothing is going their way. Like, if there's mad reshoots that morning, anything could have happened that morning, and you're just seeing one side of it. He could have been yelling at his assistant, like, "Yo, I asked you 15 times to get me my Monster Energy drink. I shouldn't have to ask her 16 times." And she's like, "Oh my gosh, she's such an asshole." And I don't know, man. But then again, I wasn't there, so I don't know.
She should have. One part of me is like, she shouldn't have said anything, because it's like, all right, it's when you were there literally 2 seconds. You say 5 minutes, but to me that's 2 seconds. But the other part of me is like, that's part of the problem in the industry. People not feeling like they can't speak up and being vilified when they do speak up. When
it comes to nobody's gonna ask her to do another cameo, because it's a bad light that you're putting out that an actor is having a bad day. Like, you met this dude for 10 minutes. You have a 5-minute cameo in this movie. You shouldn't speak on that side of the business when you don't know that side of the business. I can't speak on an Apple executive yelling at somebody who messed up an iPhone, and I was only there for 5 minutes. I seen him yelling at him. I don't know what he's yelling. I don't know what's really going on.
That's true.
So now you're putting out to the atmosphere, to everybody that has ears and eyes, that he's this person, when there's so many other reports that Jason Momoa is a sweetheart on set. You talk about all the Game of Thrones people that loved him, hated the fact that they killed off his character. He's Aquaman. He as bad as Amber Heard. The whole situation was, he advocated for her to still be in a movie.
I love Jason Momoa. He's not a villain.
Yeah, but he's supposed villains. Clearly.
Yeah, he used to play villains before he got his break as a hero. So yeah, it's still one sided for you. I'm sorry, you're not beating these allegations.
What? The allegations are false.
You're not beating these allegations. I'm sorry.
Another movie that's going to be that's originating from a video game is BioShock. So that is set to be released as well with director Francis Lawrence. They're doing a Tomb Raider 2. They're doing Splinter Cell, which is pointless. They're doing another Highlander. So for the old heads will be very, very excited about that.
I
Highlander
think
was
Splinter Cell is gonna be fire. I know
Really?
you made a face, but I think the video game is fire.
Oh.
I think if you cast the right character for Sam Fisher, I think it'll be fire. Just the same thing I think about Metal Gear Solid. I think Metal Gear Solid, if you bring back at the very least, if you bring Hideo Kojima back as a creative for the script, I think Metal Gear Solid will be fire too. But I think Splinter Cell has the perfect story, has the perfect atmosphere to make a really good movie.
Well, Metal Gear Solid is set to be a movie. I think I named it. It's set to be.
It is. The Moon Knight is playing him.
Mm-hmm.
Is playing Solid Snake. But honestly, it all depends on which way they go with Metal Gear Solid 2.
Yeah.
If you're going off of which video game are you going off of? Which timeline? Which version of Big Boss?
They weren't
right. Are we getting Solid Snake or are we getting Big Boss? Like there's so many different things that you can go with it. So
they're not clear on that as of yet. They haven't from based on
they're still in writing hell. They still haven't it still hasn't got into the point of production. So I mean Metal Gear Solid is on the same line as Blade right now. Nobody can decide what to do with this what they have.
I don't know if it's on the line of Blade because they're kind of scrapping Blade unless they find
a new director and writer.
I mean, but if you look at the reports for Metal Gear Solid, what's his? I forget the actor's name. Who played in Moon Knight? Who's going to be playing in Metal Gear Solid? But he's been advocating the same thing. Mahershala Ali has been advocating. I want a good story. Hey, but I still came out on top because I still said it. You know what I'm saying? Say Megalopolis. Say Megalopolis.
Megalopolis.
I said it.
But yeah, but they're along the same lines as far as what they're doing and story wise. But he's been advocating, I'm not doing this movie until the script is good and the director behind it is going to make this movie. You're dealing with Metal Gear Solid is one of the most beloved franchises in video gaming history.
That is true.
You know what I'm saying? So, and Hideo Kojima is one of the most brilliant minds when it comes to video games and incorporating movies and cinematics. Metal Gear Solid at that point in time, when it came out on PlayStation 1, not even bringing up the Super Nintendo versions, but the PlayStation 1 version, he wanted it to be a movie.
Yeah.
And if you ever played the game, it played out like a movie. The opening credits with Snake swimming to Shadow Moses and being in Alaska, the Kodaks, everything. So I don't blame these actors, Mahershala Ali included, who want a good product. Ryan Reynolds fought for the product that he had, and ultimately Deadpool came out fire. You want these actors that you have starring in you want them to advocate the movie to be good, or it's not going to be good.
That's true.
Case in point, Borderlands.
Versus people that are just doing a good role. The huge difference. It's just the rollout is so nice. Transformers 1, the origins story that's coming out October 18th.
I think it's going to do well, but I don't think it's a good movie.
I think it'll do well.
I think it's going to do well. The franchise as a whole. I'm not sure if it's going to do well because it's that movie.
No, I think it's going to do well because it's animated. I think that's why it's going to do well. I don't think it's going to do well story-wise. I think the people
I
that
know
are
you do.
fans,
Thor is,
but it depends. It depends. I haven't seen the movie, so and I've only seen a couple of clips in the trailer. But from what I've seen, I think the animation point is going to do well because animation movies tend to do better than live action.
yeah, they do. Yeah.
By far.
But I don't think that I think the true Transformer fans, the grew up with the cartoons, that grew up with the action figures, that's seen the first couple of movies with Shia LaBeouf, I think those type of fans may not gravitate towards this movie because I think this movie has too many big names attached to it.
Would
So I don't
you
think the
really
story is
say
going to be good.
that's my thing? Would you really say they're Transformer fans? Because this is about the true origins of Optimus and Megatron and how it
Right.
transitioned into what
But again,
is
it depends
today,
on the
you know what I
story.
mean?
It depends on the story. If the story is going like if it stays true to the people
The
that
source
grew up,
material.
because the Hasbro comics, the original cartoons, the original story, and the lore, yeah, I think that true Transformer fans is gonna love it. But if they're doing their own thing and they're only incorporating pieces and lore, and you have these big names that's attached to it, Chris Hemsworth and I always forget the black guy's name from Atlanta.
I'm excited. Oh, you mean Donald Glover?
No, not Donald Glover. The one that played
The one
in
that is in Eternals.
Eternals and the father of Miles Morales.
Yes,
Him.
no, I know what you're talking
He's
about.
playing Megatron.
Yes, he is. He's the voice of
But
Megatron.
I think you're attaching big names to. It could go one of two ways. It could be a really, really good movie and they did their thing story wise, or it could be a cash grab. We attach these big names to it. It's going to do well because it's animation, and I think people are gonna want to bring their kids. But the adults, us, we may not like it.
Yeah,
right.
I think it can go either way. I do think it's going to do well because of the franchise as a whole and the history behind it. And because it's animation. I do think that a lot of the names that are attached to the film, they attach themselves because they wanted to be a part of the franchise because it's already so successful. So they figured, oh, this is a guaranteed shot. But I also like the fact that they're doing this movie because it gives the chance to appeal to the next generation that didn't grow up on all of these things. So I'm excited for them to kind of come into the Transformer universe and be like, oh wow, and be excited about it. So that I'm excited for that. And I'm excited that Thor broke out from Thor and decided to do the voice of something else.
But he's been slowly breaking away from yeah. Because he has this franchise on Netflix, the Army flick.
Yeah.
He's been getting into other roles and other, voice acting opportunities.
None of them have been as big as Thor. This is the first role.
But you can't say any franchise outside of Marvel is really that big. You know what I'm saying? Like if Keanu Reeves comes on and be Ghost Rider, it's gonna be bigger than John Wick. And John Wick is huge.
1,000%. I agree with that.
Well, that's why I said, but even all the other roles that he's had thus far outside of playing Thor in my opinion, didn't even come close to being as big. Transformers, at least, is even though it's not as big as.
Did you see his movie on Netflix? The Army. That movie is super fire.
It's amazing.
Super fire.
He's amazing in most of his projects, but reality is that
when you think of Chris Hemsworth, you're not going to think of that movie.
Well, true. Very true. Very true.
Hasn't surpassed Marvel or Thor. But Transformers, while it won't surpass Marvel, it will at least give him another character that people are going to think of him, when they say this character. Like, it's
honestly, I think that will go for any of these actors who had their major break with Marvel. Yeah, Chris Hemsworth had his major break as Thor. What's his face who plays Spider-Man had his major break as Spider-Man. They're always going to be associated. Daniel Radcliffe, he can't escape Harry Potter.
Nope.
No matter what, and no matter how amazing, he's an amazing actor. Yeah,
he's trying. You can see he's trying.
Amazing actor, but he'll never escape that. So I think that it goes for any.
Robert Pattinson, he tried to break away from Twilight and Harry Potter.
No, I think he has. I think he's the exception to the rule. I think he has separated himself. Both of them. I think both him and Kristen Stewart have separated themselves. Even though Kristen Stewart separated herself as being a weirdo, but Robert Pattinson, he separated himself as an actor because he's played so many dramatic roles that nobody really associate. Oh, it's the Twilight actor. Like nobody really says that anymore. Yeah. Nowadays, people are saying, "Oh, he's the new Batman." Yeah.
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 I think he played an amazing role.
He had one with William Dafoe. He had one with William Dafoe where he almost won an Oscar. So I mean, he's a tremendous actor, and I think he's the exception to the rule. Yeah, same with Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah.
Well, I think Robert Downey,
he had an amazing career prior to Tony Stark.
Prior, yeah. His career spoke for itself before he even stepped into the MCU.
However, he had a lot of bad press stepping into the Iron Man role, but Iron Man kind of refreshed his image. And that's how we got the Sherlock Holmes and Dr. Dolittle, like that. He got bigger roles and everything because of his image refresh.
I still don't think those roles, even though amazing as they are, I don't think those roles outshined his role as Iron Man. And really, even though he's stepping into Doom, I don't think that I don't think it outshined the other. It's just kind of like a continuation of him in the MCU. So he really hasn't shied away from his role as an MCU. When you think MCU, when you think these characters, when you say Robert Downey Jr., you're still going to think MCU, Marvel, especially for the generation that's coming up now.
That's our generation.
Yeah.
I would think my first thought is always Tropic Thunder. Always.
Facts.
Super
facts. One of my favorite movies. I'm the dude playing dude disguised as another dude. So I don't like how you people are talking.
Acceptable blackface ever, bro.
Yeah, facts.
The only acceptable blackface. It's crazy.
Facts. I mean, he could play Black Panther at this point.
He could do anybody. I think we've accepted him as he's been invited to every cookout at this point.
Yeah, he's an honorary black man.
Exactly, and the only one that could probably get away with that. Let's be clear.
Literally the only person.
Only.
Right. I mean, there's so many other movies on the list that we didn't even get to, especially Naruto that's set to release. But we could talk about this all day, honestly. I feel like it'll probably be a part 2 because there's so many other movies that are set to come out over the next 4 years, over even in the next year alone. And I'm just thinking this possibly this moment in time could possibly be the best in history for TV, both TV and film, and even games, because they are rolling out some really cool games in October. So I can't wait to talk about those in a future episode, the spooky season. So I think this is set to be the best. So speaking of Tony, is he the real true villain of the MCU? There was a video that we all watched about how this guy's hot take on Tony Stark, and he believes that he is the true villain of the MCU. I agree and disagree, but I want Rob to go first because I was very excited about his initial response.
Yeah, and all in all, I disagree. Tony Stark, let's say he had a very problematic start before coming Iron Man, creating bombs for different countries and stuff like that. But, overall, I don't think he is the true villain of the MCU because he never spearheaded a lot of these initiatives, a lot of these events, such as the Eternals and the Deviants. He had nothing to do with that. That was going to happen regardless, Thanos popping up on Earth twice. That's going to happen. Yeah, tell your man to chill out. He almost destroyed everything before. Yeah, like I can't call Tony Stark a true villain. I could say he's problematic. A lot of his prior idea, like look at Ultron of all things, due to his own insecurities and fear, he created Ultron, which Ultron almost destroyed the world himself. So I can't call him a true villain. I can see a trying man.
Yeah.
That's all I can really say.
All right, well,
Yeah.
I'm gonna be devil's advocate. I guess I gotta be that guy. Okay, so selling weapons to your ops makes you a villain.
I hear you.
Creating Ultron. Not only did he create Ultron, he was gonna enable Ultron. Villain. Saying that he wanted the Sokovian Accords, fighting somebody who you considered a close friend over the other person's close friend because that other close friend killed your parents at a time. But it's Iron Man's fault. It's Tony's fault. It's not Winter Soldier's fault because Winter Soldier he was brainwashed.
It's Captain America's fault.
It's not Captain 100%. America's fault.
You should let your both friends fight it out in the winter. You know what I mean? Calls it a day, bro.
But
he killed my mom and dad, bro. You gotta go.
I get that. But he killed your mom and dad. Like, if I have amnesia, I can't. You gonna blame somebody for not knowing what they did? He was brainwashed. He was brainwashed by the Nazis. Like,
he just got to catch these hands for like good 5 minutes, bro.
I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that. But what he wanted to do was not only lock anybody up that was going against these accords, but he got Spider-Man involved. How you got a 16-year-old kid involved in your shenanigans? Villain.
That 16-year-old kid
villain
is way too damn strong. All right.
Nah, first of all, he got the 16-year-old kid involved because he was out for his mom's, even though he had Pepper Potts, his aunt. He wanted the aunt. He wanted the aunt. Villain. He was willing to put his relationship on the line to for a one night stand with Peter Parker's aunt. Yeah, villain.
Crazy.
And then he was mad at Doctor Strange for Strange giving him, because he had Strange. He had the power to look at the different timelines and possibilities, and he was like, "You better be right, or I'm gonna kill you." Oh. Villain.
Come on.
And he was cosplaying as Iron Man, but he was really Dr. Doom. He's a villain.
Oh my God. Okay, first of all.
Dr. Doom's not a villain either.
So, first of all, speaking of him playing, cosplaying as Dr. Doom. So, the speculation is that in that the new Avengers movie coming up is that they're using the multiverse. So they're going to say that it's some variant of Tony Stark, where in the alternative universe, he's the heroic Iron Man. But in that universe, he is the Hellraiser known as Dr. Doom. So I'm excited for that. We're going to speak on that. But I agree and disagree with this only because if you really think about it, Tony Stark was a man who was continuing the sins of his father. It wasn't like he was fulfilling what he was supposed to, what he thought he was supposed to be doing based on what his father, Howard Stark, had done and started. So really, it was kind of like, a whole, like King T'Challa. It was the same thing. He had to kind of relinquish the sins of his father in order to become, the best version of Black Panther that he eventually came. Yada, yada, yada. But with Tony Stark, unfortunately, it took him a few times and things to realize that his father was wrong and that how he had been doing things was wrong all this time before he could clean it up and become the hero that everyone knew and loved. I respect the fact that every time he, did something wrong, he did take accountability and try to correct it. Even if that meant that he was going to have to
sir.
He took accountability.
If he tried to save the world after he's the one that put it in harm's way, that's taking accountability.
He shouldn't have put it in harm's way in the first place. Villain.
I mean, that's true, but he was.
It's not like he intentionally tried to do it.
He was. It was
trying to help the world.
Look.
You know what Stark is the real villain, not Tony.
Do you know what this is? Do you know what this is? I'm asking you, Mary. Do you know what this is? This is the goalpost. This is the goalpost.
Yeah.
This is what you're doing.
You know what? Howard's, like I said, I stand by this. Howard Stark was the true villain, and Tony Stark, after losing his dad, he was just trying to follow in his, father's footsteps. He didn't know he was doing wrong. Okay.
It was more of a character development arc for him because he was not the best of persons. He was a drunk, constantly drinking all the time.
Exactly.
He just became better over time, learning, especially his battle with religion, seeing Thor for the first time. When you just devoted everything to science and facts, now here's some magic and gods for you. That man was spiraling out of control, bro.
Yeah, he was. I agree with that aspect.
In a sense, he was mentally trying to get it together.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I agree with that aspect, but I disagree with. I agree with the character development aspect, but where I disagree is you can't start off a villain. It's like you can see yourself go from good and go into badness. Anakin Skywalker, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then it's like after everything Anakin did, because he loves his son, all of a sudden he's, I better save my son. So I saw my dad. I have daddy issues. I'm gonna do all of these different things because I feel like my dad would be proud of me because I'm doing bad things that he would apparently approve of. And all of a sudden I'm like, oh, wait, these bad things are really bad. And I'm sorry for doing these bad things. Let me correct it. And not only I'm gonna correct it, I'm gonna make more mistakes trying to correct it.
That's crazy. What about Parker? When he started out, he let that poor man get robbed, and unfortunately led to his uncle dying. But he became a better hero because of it, right?
I mean, but that doesn't make him a villain, though. That just makes him an asshole.
Sir, if you watch somebody get robbed and you had a chance to stop that person, you are a villain.
What I will say
did he have his powers at that point? He had his powers?
He did.
Mm-hmm.
But he was like scared of them.
That makes sense.
He did in fact have his powers then. But this is the thing though, isn't this what every cartoon and story is based off of? Wanting the villain to turn into a good person, to realize their mistakes, take accountability, and do some good in the world. I mean, you have it in every cartoon. Kim Possible, X-Men, Superman.
You know what, Rob? You know what, Rob? You know why she's advocating this so bad?
What? I did not have a crush on Tony Stark.
I'm not saying Tony. I'm not saying Tony. I'm just saying the reason why you are advocating the good, there's levels, they're not truly evil. You think that their actions are evil, but they're really not. They're justified if you really think about the other side of it. It's Thanos.
No.
Thanos. I mean, think about it. Think about it. And there's a small community in the world that think that Thanos was absolutely correct.
That's true. You are right about that. You are right about that.
And I'm right about my theory about you.
No, you're not.
The reason why you're going so crazy, you have to save him, and I understand it. I get it.
No.
I get it.
No.
I get it. Okay. I gotta save Grimace from the Hamburglar because he keeps stealing his hamburgers. I feel you. I gotta save my purple people too.
No.
We gotta see how deep this. We gotta see how deep this goes.
No. That's not.
I gotta see. So you know the iceberg theories. You know the iceberg theories. That's I just wanna. I gotta do a deep dive on the iceberg theories of Mary's love for Thanos.
No.
Okay, Mary.
I'm gonna do it.
The Joker.
I'm gonna do it.
Yes or no?
Oh my god!
Think about that. Oh my god!
No. What I will say is,
yo, Rob. She said, which version of the Joker?
I'm saying no, but I loved Heath Ledger. I was a huge fan of his. I loved the actor who played Heath, played Joker.
So is that a yes?
But
it's a yes. That's a yes. She said if we're talking about if we're talking about the Dark Knight, it's a yes. That's what she said.
Okay, so Dark Knight Joker, yes.
See, look at she blushing and everything. Look at her.
Blushing.
Look at her.
Blushing. Y'all are just trying it. Y'all trying it.
Christian Bale's gore.
Yo, Barry, he will pop up on you like, would you like to smile? You would be cheesing. You would be
No.
going crazy.
I would not.
Joker.
No, y'all are dragging this. Y'all are dragging this. I stand by my statement. Tony Stark was suffering from the sins of his father, and he was a villain, but not a villain. He wasn't the true villain of the MCU, because Rob is right. Everything that happened with the Eternals, that was going to happen regardless. He had no control over that. So, and he had no control over what his father did. Now,
did Thanos? Did Thanos have? Yeah, Nick Fury. Nick Fury is a villain.
Nick Fury is a villain. Mm-hmm.
Did Thanos have control? That's my
to
question. That's my question. Did Thanos have control?
He's the product of the Eternals. So I don't
answer the question, please. Stop deflecting. Answer the question, please.
Yes and
no. Did Thanos have control?
Yes and no.
Here we go with the gray area.
He is the product of the Eternals. He was born from the Eternals. He was a deviant. Therefore, guess what? They, just like the Eternals, they were created to complete a mission. They were created to do a certain thing. So on some level, that's what Thanos was doing. On some level, his belief, his mission, that was embedded in him.
Okay, maybe we're talking about MCU, but if we're talking about Marvel, if we're talking about the actual comic book lore, he was only doing all of this because of a woman.
Mm-hmm.
And now that this is all coming to light, that woman was Mary.
No,
it makes sense now.
You know what?
You actually might be right.
Men have done amazing things in honor of me. Thank you. But not ending the world. Not ending the world.
What if Thanos was actually the hero? Because you remember how much life it takes on the planet to resurrect a celestial through the celestial egg on the planet?
Yeah.
What if Thanos was indirectly cutting all the life half on each planet so the celestials won't come and destroy the planet?
And the Avengers reversing that actually awakened the celestial.
But wasn't that part of the premise to begin with? They always kept saying that you guys don't know what you're doing. You're actually harming. You're doing more harm than good. I mean, this narrative has been constant throughout from the very first Avengers movie. So on some level, the Avengers did more harm than good, but without knowing, because they were thinking that they were saving the planet, but they actually were igniting their forces. And ruin the planet.
Bigger things at play that they don't even understand yet.
Exactly. Because they were only privileged to the primitive view of Earth.
Okay, so is Tony Stark a villain or not?
Nope.
No.
Okay. Mary wants to say yes so bad. See, that's the thing. You see the body language, Rob? She wants to say yes so bad. But it's cool. I'm gonna let it go.
She's beating her inner urges. That's it.
It's cool. I'm gonna let it go. I'm gonna let it go, Mary. I'm gonna let it go.
I'm torn. I said yes and no.
I'm gonna let it go. I'm not gonna. We're gonna let it go.
Fine. So let's get into this week's verses, since it's all about letting it go. Cyclops. I'm sorry. I'm looking at the body language.
I was just watching the scores. They doing the rundown. It's halftime in the NFL right now. So go ahead.
Yeah.
So I'm not bringing it up, though, boy. I promise I will not bring it up. Not even in our group chat. Maybe in our group chat.
No,
but I will. Maybe in a group chat. But I promise I won't bring it up no more.
Who you got in this versus?
Oh, that's easy for me. My boy Scott Summers is gonna put that work in.
I voted Cyclops all the way. I was already gonna say that.
I don't get me wrong. I love Ryu. The power of nothingness. When he mastered the Dark Shadow and the light and combined them both to the power of nothingness, he's different. But he's not. Scott Summers different.
It's different. I don't know.
I'm going Ryu. I'm sorry. I'm going Ryu as Dark Ryu. When Akuma comes and evil Ryu. If we're talking evil Ryu, I think he'll put the beats on anybody, hand to hand.
Oh no, bro.
Hand to hand. Because the thing is, Cyclops would have to keep a distance with Ryu because Ryu has better hand-to-hand combat and close
That's
quarters.
also arguable.
I'm telling you, he's dangerous. He's dangerous close quarters. Ryu is fire.
As good
All
as
it
he
takes is
gets.
one.
Scott Summers is he is a good guy. He is as good as it gets, and he's powerful, and good always wins. At least in this instance, good is gonna
Well,
win.
mutants, they kill, and Cyclops has enough energy to destroy a small planet. I'm
That's
sorry,
true.
Ryu is not taking that hit.
Ryu, his Hadoken, the current Ryu with his Hadoken, he could wipe you off the board. He's basically Goku with his Hadoken.
And I still don't think he win.
Where? Nah, Cyclops. I'd say Cyclops. His battle tendency and battle tactics far succeed Ryu. Because you remember.
Well,
Cyclops
I would give the advantage to Cyclops because Cyclops is a tactician who could think while doing combat, whereas Ryu.
On top of that, he's working with like 40 other mutants fighting at the same time, utilizing each of this skill exactly how it needs to be. You know.
And the dope part about Cyclops is the fact that with his visor, he understands trigonometry. He understands and geometry. He understands it on a mathematical level of what angle to shoot, how much force.
He has to learn that in order to control his power.
Same way Captain America chooses the shield.
Right.
So is just as good.
And I think Ryu is not really a battle technician, whereas like, all right, we're gonna go into battle. He's a martial artist. Like, his thing is to disarm you, whereas Cyclops is literally trained to kill. Ryu's not trained to kill.
I got Cyclops on this one.
Yeah.
I personally don't
have to
think
go Cyclops.
A lot of these characters wouldn't match up against mutants. Like you said, they're all trained on some level to kill. Their powers.
No, I think other Street Fighters. I think other Street Fighters could fare more well against Cyclops, but it just depends on which Street Fighter are we talking about.
They would have to
jump him. You don't think so?
They would have to jump him. That's the only way I can see it. That's the only way I can see it.
I think what's it? Charlie. I think Charlie could go against Cyclops. Charlie is just a tactician. He's ex-military. I think Guile could have a chance if it's close quarters. I think that's probably it. Charlie and Guile. Maybe Akuma. Maybe Akuma.
I mean, if it has to be anybody, it would have to be Akuma out of everybody.
Akuma or M Bison.
They're number one right now.
Yeah. But I would put M Bison in there too because M Bison has he telekinetic and the power of whatever the purple thing is. But
the psycho energy.
Psycho energy, which gave the Ken, and Ken could probably hold his own, but I think Ken get bodied though. But Ken will hold his own with the psycho power.
Please don't disrespect my boy Ken.
No. Ken, first of all, I'm a Ken stan. I'm a Ken stan. I still think Ken is better than Ryu in every facet. But I don't like the narrative that Ryu hand to hand is whipping Ken. I think Ken is a notch better because Ryu don't work on his legs like Ken do, and Ken. Yes,
out of Ken and Ryu, I think Ken has more wins actually.
Well,
in canon for both Ryu and Ken Ryu has more wins than Ryu.
Ken has
just that Ryu is just physically stronger.
Yeah,
especially with Sasanahado. He's way too strong with that.
But Ken is more. He's more nimble. He's more flexible, and he's more lighter on his feet. He's very quick. He's faster than Ryu.
It is. It reflects in the game as well. As Ryu, he focuses on single power hits, while Ken is most focused on combination attacks.
Yep, and speed.
I didn't know the breakdown of this, to be honest, of what you guys
and Ken could put fire and incorporate fire into his moves, whereas Ryu has to rely on the power of nothingness and the Hadoken power. So it's two totally different things.
Facts. Both train the same way, but two different styles.
Yep.
It's crazy.
I didn't know.
I think that the only reason why they put Ryu so high is because they made Akuma canon as his older brother. I think that's the only reason why they really put him in that conversation. But in my opinion, I mean, even if you go along the storyline of the new Street Fighter 6. Ken is the focus. Finally, Ken is the focus.
Finally. I don't
So,
know.
yeah, I'm a Ken stan. I'm with you, Rob. I'm a Ken stan.
I'm definitely giving to my son Scott Summers.
Y'all just taught me a few things that I thought I knew all, but I didn't. Okay. Still going Cyclops in this battle, but okay.
Next. Yeah, to give to my son's side.
But if it's Ken and Ryu versus Cyclops,
see, that's it. You gotta jump somebody like Scott. You know, that's the only way.
Not beating him.
Put it up. Put it up. I'm gonna do it.
That's the only way.
Do it.
Just not.
But then again, I mean, you can't jump Cyclops, but the X-Men jumping in too. So it's
because that's their style.
Yeah,
we jump over
that's
there.
their style. Yeah, we jump. What you mean? What you mean? It's a 1-on? What is that? What's a 1-on-1 fight? I've never heard of
it. X-Men, the Power Rangers, and the Powerpuff Girls.
Facts.
Jumping
all they know is how to jump. That's a fact.
Then guess what? I'm here for it. Okay. Just saying. Listen, I hope you guys tune in next week. Please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Okay, click it. Okay, we can't wait to see and hear from you guys. But that's it. Guys.
Later, guys.
Still can't get over Thanos.
Ew, you're a nerd. No, I'm not. Yes, you are. Whatever. Nerd.